Citizen Sport on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Friday Joshua FJ Omoba Baujo, the leatherweight champion. And Champions League football is back as Liverpool file out against Villarreal in Spain this evening for the second leg of the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. And Liverpool goes into that encounter with a 2-0 advantage. Will they be able to solidify their result and make it to the final? It's left to be seen at the end of regulation time this evening. Flying Eagles pipped Wafubi host Niger Republic in a friendly match yesterday in Niamey. And World Football Governing Body FIFA sanctioned 6 African nations, the FAs, for a breach of football rules and regulation during the World Cup qualifiers in March. And not to forget, those one of those nations includes Nigeria, our very own Nigeria. We all know the bizarre incident that happened when we played Ghana in the World Cup qualifier here at the Moshood Dabella National Stadium, and a total of $150,000 were slammed on Nigerian FA, as well as they are going to play one match behind closed door, and that match is going to be against Sierra Leone in the 2023 African Cup of Nations qualifier. And don't forget to call us in the studio and give us your prediction in the game between Liverpool and Villarreal tonight, the second leg. Because as it stands, Liverpool have a 2-0 advantage lead going into that encounter. Will Liverpool be able to solidify that result, or are we going to see a comeback at the end of today? The number to call is 0818 222 2205. 0818 222-2205. Call us. Let's have a feel of what you have to say and give us your prediction at the end of tonight's encounter to stand yourself a chance to win airtime. Remember, any airtime of your choice. And I'm starting from home front. Let's let you know that Tokyo 2020 Olympian Ekerekeme Egiamo, African champion Soso Tamaro, and Esther Kolawole, as well as Ebi Biogos, Ebi Dakpe Madungofa, and then Peti Zilaga Obaze all won gold in their respective weight categories on the penultimate day of the competition at the first Governor Diri National Wrestling Classic in Yenagua, Bayelsa State. Wrestling in 86 kg freestyle events, Team Delta say Agiamo, a 2018 champion, relied on his vast experience to overpower Jackson Oluwafemi of Ondo State 4-3 in a keenly contested final to clinch gold, thereby avenging a shock defeat to his opponent in the earlier round. Meanwhile, Yahaya Muhammad of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja won bronze medal on offer in the 86 kg class. And meanwhile, in the 97 kg class, a veteran former African champion Soso Tamara of Team Delta secured gold after round-robin wins against Omega Basi of Bayelsa State, Yaya Idris of Federal Road Safety Corps, and Sunday Olawale of Kwara State. Basi and Idris won silver and bronze medals. And similarly, Peter Zilaga Obazi of Team Edo impressively thrashed Team Bayelsa's Adowe Asanakpa at 10-0 via technical superiority in the final of the 92 kg class to win gold. Michael Damini of Team Delta got the bronze medal on offer in that category. In the women's wrestling, African champion and world under-23 bronze medalist Esther Kolawale, I beg your pardon, needed just 86 seconds to defeat home girl Fefo Okweni 4-0 via pinfall in the final of the 62 kg class. And in the same vein, Team Bayelsa's AB Biogo secured a 6-4 pinfall victory against former African juniors champion Simisola Balogun of Ondo State to claim gold in the 72 kg class in a tough final that saw both wrestlers leave everything on the mark. After a couple of attempts at senior level, youngster Ebidakpe Mogembofa of Team Bayelsa finally won her first national title, claiming gold in 65 kg class following round-robin wins against Temene Deye of Ijo Club and Team Ondo's Esther Ashaulu, who won silver and bronze medals respectively. The first Governor Diri National Wrestling Classics will come to an end today with the likes of Olympic silver medalist Blessing Ogboro Dudu, multiple African champion Odwayo Adekuroye, Amas Daniel, Messi Genesis, all expected to be in action at the Indoor Sports Hall of the Samson Siasia Stadium in Yenagoa. All right, with this athletes actually doing justice to in their respective categories, talking about the likes of 2020 Olympian Ekerekeme Egiamo, African champion Soso Tamara, and Esther Kolawale, I beg your pardon, actually doing justice and raking medals in the first Governor Diri National Wrestling Classic in Yenagoa. How do you feel this is going to prepare the athletes ahead of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham this year?
Over time, you know that one of the things you always clamor for is having enough preparation when it comes to going for tournament and, of course, invitational tournament, or as the case may be, some competition amongst themselves. And this is a good initiative from Governor Diri to actually, bring this up. And, the president of the Nigeria Federation, Wrestling Federation, that's Daniel Igali, is a really experienced administrator, and since he has come on board, we've actually seen some pretty impressive development in wrestling as a sport. And of course, we have boys and girls who are doing us proud. So yes, it's definitely a right step in the right direction, looking at the Commonwealth Games coming up soon. And of course, for athletes, preparation is key, because for obvious reasons, we don't want to have a repeat of what happened at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. So it's a good one for the athletes and for the federation as a whole.
All right, good one for the athletes and the federation as well. We just hope they cross their T's and dot the I's before the Commonwealth Games comes proper, as we are very optimistic that they will go all out to do us proud at the Commonwealth Games. And now away from wrestling, now let's take you to football, where Nigeria's under-20 team, the Flying Eagles, defeated Niger Republic 1-0 in the friendly at the Stade Municipal, as preparations continue ahead of the Wafu Zone B under-20 Cup of Nations. Gombe United forward Ibrahim Yaya's 6-minute effort secured victory for the Flying Eagles in Niamey. Meanwhile, the Flying Eagles coach has expressed some fears over lack of scoring prowess of the 7-time African champions. The team, after 2 weeks trial in Nigeria, arrived Niamey, where they will face Ghana and Burkina Faso in Group B in the Wafu Beat Under-20 Championship, with the top 2 teams from each group gaining promotion to the semi-finals. The 7-time African champions in their last 2 friendly matches were unable to score a goal, which has become a worrisome situation for the coaching crew, and that was before the game yesterday against Niger Republic anyway. But head coach of the team, Ladan Boso, said it is a worrisome situation that in the last 2 matches the team was unable to score even a goal, but we must not forget the fact that the most difficult thing in the game of football is creating chance. This Flying Eagles is a work in progress, he added, and from the outcome of the last 2 matches, one in Abuja and the other in Niamey, the team could not score goal. This means that we, the technical crew, must seriously work on this aspect, and by the special grace of God, these boys will start scoring. Ladan Boso selected a total of 30 players who will compete against Ghana's and Black Starlets and the young Etalons of Burkina Faso in Group B. Host Niger Republic, Benin Republic, Togo, and Cote d'Ivoire will do battle in Group A. The Flying Eagles will face Ghana in their first match of the competition on Sunday, May 8th, before taking on Burkina Faso 3 days later. Both matches to hold at the General Seni Konche Stadium in Niamey. And 2 teams will sail into the semi-finals from each group, with the 2 finalists qualifying to represent the Wafu B zone at the 2023 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. Looking at the goal-scoring prowess and lately for the Under-20 Flying Boys, what do you have to say about it? And do you think the last 3 friendly they've played, because they played against Sapphire FC of Lagos, they drew goalless here in Abuja. They played against Niger Republic in the first leg, they drew goalless, and yesterday they eventually got a 1-0 win. Do you think this is the true test of their ability before the competition comes May 8th?
Well, this is not the true test. The good part of it is that we have players there that are already battle tested, but as a team, they are actually not battle tested yet. It was impressive that they're able to get a 1-0 win over Niger Republic, but at the end of the day, what really matters is how they step up on the first day in their first game. Taking one step at a time, is good that they're able to maintain a winning streak. It will give them all the necessary morale that they need, and hopefully they are getting all the necessary support from the federation as well. Well, when it comes to performances, there's always room for improvement, and I'm sure the coach as well will be very keen to work on that as soon as possible, given that I didn't have enough time for camp. But with or without the good part, like I said, with those players like the captain who plays for the captain under 15.
And
Sholumade, then you have the Gombe United player as well who scored the first goal. So all in all, you can tell there are some experienced players there from the Nigeria Professional Football League. They've played some games and they know how to handle the pressure. But of course, when it really comes out to the competition, then we'll see how the team can react and play under pressure.
Okay, let's hope they do very well, because some of those friendly they played in Abuja. They played against Cosmos FC of Abuja, FC Basira of Lafia, and they were very their goal scoring ability was on the high side until they begin to make big sides like Sapphire FC of Lagos and the Niger Republic, who is also their counterpart and who they will meet maybe in the competition. And then we begin to see some of the lapses in the team. But just like you said, they've been tested individually, but as a team, they've not been tested. Maybe we are seeing this because they've not played. They didn't play any of the MPFS side as promised by the coach. But let's keep our fingers crossed. May 8th is the day when we kickstart our own campaign against the Black Stars of Ghana. And now let's go straight into the MPFL and have a little discussion on the events that happened between Lagos, MFMFC of Lagos and Enugu Rangers at the Agege Stadium over the weekend, and that match ended goalless between the two, and that means for MFMFC they are pegged on 20th position on the MPFL standing. That means relegation is staring at them straight into the face, and that result did not go down well with the Lagos-based fans, and that led to the encroachment onto the pitch and assault on the match official. Now, with what has happened to Kano Pillars on match day 23, on match day 22 against Katsina United at the Sani Abacha Stadium, do you think these fans don't learn from events like this? Because Kano Pillars got sanctioned 9 million naira, banished away from home. They were asked to replace the team boss of Katsina United, and since then Kano Pillars have not been able to actually recover fully, because ever since that incident they've just won one match against the Sunshine Stars of Akure here in Abuja, and they've gone on to lose 2 matches after that incident at the Sani Abacha Stadium. Now, for MFM FC, what do you think is the way forward to curb some of these things from happening in the MPFL and for their fans?
You know, the good thing about social media is accountability, right? So the video is online, and from what we can see, the referee at the end of the game was protected by security officials, right? And then you could still see individuals, you know, find their way through and hit the referee on the head.
Exactly.
Like 2 different people actually did that, and what is disturbing is the fact that they did it and they walked away scot-free. You know, maybe to a point I understand that the security operatives were torn between either protecting the ref or chasing after people that were hitting him, because to a certain extent it was just like 4 or thereabouts of them, and it's just pretty disturbing, and I think an investigation needs to be done, and the fans need to do better as a football loving nation, really. And it's disturbing. Basically it boils down to having adequate security for these guys, because if you can't guarantee safety of referees, then your league will definitely go bad and corrupt. Referees determine outcomes of games, and when they know that their safety is on the line and people from outside can do something to them, then you have external influences affecting results in the league, and definitely that's something that we don't want. So the administrators, the league management company, the NFF need to come together and really look at this situation.
Okay, now to fans of these football clubs in the MPFL, how do you think these guys should be enlightened to know that whatever they do or don't do affects the club directly or indirectly? Like in the case of Kano Pillars, they have 3 points deducted. That match against Katsina United, the 3 points is still suspended. They don't know what to do with it yet. They cough out a 9 million naira, and they send the team away from home to play home matches. Now, with the same thing happening at the Agege Stadium for MFM fans, do you think they actually put these fans actually put the club and the players who play week in, week out, sweat and blood to get all these points and to actually stay in the league or go on to win the league at the end of the day? Do they put this club and the players into consideration before taking these actions?
I think for MFM, the trigger factor here, I would say, would be the relegation
traits.
No, they're more or less they're relegated, if I'm being honest. So
no,
I believe that's more or less the. Well, mathematically they are not relegated.
Yeah, mathematically, yeah.
Performance-wise, as far as I'm concerned,
they are relegated.
I won't be surprised if that's the end of MFMFC anyway. But with or without, you know, them sitting deep in relegation zone, I feel is the trigger factor for the reaction from fans, because I believe if they were maybe competing for continental sport, maybe they were in a position like Remo Stars or Enugu Rangers, you know. Enugu Rangers came there, of course, wanting a win, because for them MFM is a weak side and they're trying to maintain momentum, but unfortunately that did not happen. And let's just wait for the verdict of the administrators, but they definitely need to calm down heavy and make better provisions for security of officials. So security-wise, we definitely need to step up our game.
All right, security-wise, we need to step up our game in the MPFL. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll give you more stories from the world of sports. And if you are just joining us, this is Citizen Sport on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja with me, Friday Joshua and Ahmed Abdul Karim. And before we went on that short break, we were discussing what happened at the Agege Stadium between MFMFC and Enugu Rangers in that match that ended goalless. And still talking MPFL, let's quickly give you fixtures for tomorrow. One of the rescheduled games and the only game for tomorrow, it will be MFMFC at home away to Abia Warriors tomorrow. And if you check the table, MFM, like we all know, is on 20th position, and in the last 5 games they've been able to win just 1 game and draw 1, and that is 4 points from a possible 12 point in that encounter for them. And for Abia Warriors, they are still in the relegation battle on 18th position on 27 points. That is tomorrow fixtures is going to
just came into the relegation, right?
Oh yeah, they actually just and
they are newcomers.
they are newcomers, so they are testing it for the first time. Although they smelled it last season, but some kind of
this season, right?
Yeah,
I'm feeling pretty safe because I remember Abia Warriors at a certain point in time were just a mid-table club, and they didn't really have any worries. But where they've really lost it seems to be in their last 5-6 games, where they've not gotten any win and only picked up 2 points out of an available 15. In the same time, we've seen the likes of Katsina United, Dakada FC, Lobby Stars get mixed results, but they've gotten wins when it mattered the most. And for Abia Warriors, I'm sure they didn't see this coming, because all of a sudden it's like the relegation zone came and just swallowed them up, because they've had that 27 points for a while now, and they were somewhere around 13, 14 before. All of a sudden they find themselves 18th. So now they are battling against that relegated side, MFMFC. Although a win here, of course, will definitely shoot them out of the relegation zone, at least ahead of Lobby Stars. But it remains to be seen what they will do against MFMFC tomorrow. At the end of the day, I think we'll still see a lot of shake-offs, definitely, in the relegation zone. You know, we don't know if Abia Warriors will be able to get maximum points here. MFMFC in the reverse fixture got maximum points from Abia Warriors. So if Abia Warriors are able to get a win here, that puts Lobby Stars back into the drop zone. But, you know, the battle is still pretty tight between Katsina United, Dakada FC, Lobby Stars, Heartland and Abia Warriors. Just 3 points separate these 6 sides in the NPFL from 14 to 19. So at the end of the day, it just boils down to how each team handle their games to the end of the season, and bit by bit is winding down. Now it's 13 games to go, right? Well, we're almost there.
All right, now let's let you know that Confederation of African Football CAF President Patrice Motsepe has talked up a bid for Botswana to co-host the men's 2027 Africa Cup of Nations with Namibia. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Patrick. I'm calling from New Caro.
Patrick from New Caro. Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Friday. Let's start from the home scene.
Okay.
MFN.
Yeah.
What's happening to the club? Is it that the former coach passed all the players away from the club? Well, I didn't know the same players that were turning out results 2-3 years ago. So what's happening to the club? To the extent that MFN is now in the 20th position in Nigeria Premier League. That is not where we're supposed to see MFN. I remember there was a time where the club was red hot in Nigeria Premier League. Yeah. So what really happened? Is it that they changed management? Is it that the players too are no longer dedicated to the club? So these are the questions that we should first of all ask. As for the fan who slapped
the match official,
a match official,
it wasn't a slap actually. It was a blow. A tight fist that could send somebody 6 feet down.
That means he assaulted a match official.
Exactly.
This is what I think. First of all, he should be arrested. He should be arrested and tried, first of all. And whatever league management company wish to, the kind of punishment they wish to carry out on MFN, that is welcome. Under 20, lack of goals, lack of scoring ability. And that is what we get if you don't prepare very, very well. That is the result we get. I don't understand how the coach was expecting the boys to start scoring goals as if they have been together for years. Even the Nigeria Super Eagles that have been together for how many years, since the years of Garnet Rowe, to this extent, they are not scoring goals. Talk less of them under 20 that just came together. Whatever it is that we see in this under 20, we should just take it like that. And for today's Champions League match,
all right.
In Liverpool, it will be a dicey one, but I don't see the side from Spain causing any threat, except if the two killer men from Africa are not playing for Liverpool, Mo Salah and Mane.
And already for Liverpool, Firmino will be missing due to injury.
Okay, Firmino will not be playing.
Exactly.
This one. But anyhow, Liverpool will still come out tops. Liverpool will still come out tops because of the experience they have over the Spanish side.
Okay, I remember the last time you predicted Liverpool to win 2-1, and your prediction didn't come through. So what's your prediction this evening?
This one it will be Liverpool 3, Villarreal 1.
Okay, now let's keep our fingers crossed and see what happens at the end of the day. Thank you, Patrick from New Carroll. Thank you. So Ahmed, he raised some valid points there. What is happening to MFMFC of Lagos? What is really happening in your own from your own perspective?
Well, from a football perspective, what I see there is
football happening to the club.
You see, MFM have actually been one of the sides that has been really good. That has been that platform for young players to actually come up in the sense that they really they build from the scratch. They are not really types that buys players. They do a lot more selling, but over time, whether I like it or not, the NPFL has evolved in some ways, and you need to do business in the transfer windows. Top guys move around a lot in the. That's just how the NPFL is. Top guys move around a lot in the NPFL, and every now and then you need to get your hands on some of them to help you, stay in the league. But for MFM, they've not really been able to do that for a while now, and since the dismissal of Fidelis Electrical, then Tolu Bulos as well, it's just been downhill from there. But like I said, I would say they did not evolve with the times in the NPFL is what happened, and because now the way the NPFL is, you have a lot more experience than other players, so coming up against a side that is still being groomed, it's just a tall order for the MFMFC side. If they are still keen on still remaining on the Nigerian football scene, then I think if they go down to relegation, whatever team they build with, they should try to stick to that. If they're able to come back immediately as well, because you have to consider the fact that the NNL is no jokes. You move around a lot. There are a lot of challenges along the way.
Yeah, even the condition in the NLL is even stiffer than MPFL.
So it's not for the weak at all. Not for the weak. So for MFM, if they're able to survive that and they come back, it will be beautiful to see them in the NPFL once again.
And maybe they'll just come back like Remo Stars and begin to compete among the top teams in the NPFL. And let's go back to the CAF story we're having before Patrick called them. And the report has it that a South African billionaire who has served as CAF president since March 2021 met with Botswana Sports Minister, Gender, Youth and Culture to Miso Ragare, as well as officials from Botswana Football Association to discuss the bid. Neither Botswana nor neighboring Namibia have previously held the Africa Cup of Nations, but are working together on a joint proposal for staging the tournament in 5 years' time. Motsepe believes the bid has a chance of being successful despite being likely to face challenges from countries like Burkina Faso, Morocco and Senegal. He praised Botswana's women's national team after they clinched a place at the Africa Women's Cup of Nations in Morocco later this year for the first time, and vowed to support the BFA in its efforts to develop sport in the Southern African country. And away from that, FIFA has sanctioned 6 African football associations following March 2022 World Cup playoff matches, but not ordered the replays requested by Algeria and Egypt. Instead, Senegal, Nigeria, and DR Congo have all been ordered to play one match behind closed doors, as well as being fined. Algeria, Egypt, and Morocco have all been handed financial fines by football's world governing body. The list of decisions published by FIFA does not include any instructions for any replays or overturning of results. Algeria had lodged a demand with FIFA for a replay of their second leg loss to visiting Cameroon that saw the Desert Forces eliminated on the away goal rule. The Algeria Football Federation and national team head coach Jamal Belmadi were unhappy with the several decisions made by Gambian referee Bakri Gassama. Instead, the only sanction issued by FIFA was a $3,000 fine to Algeria for order and security at matches, throwing of objects, and lighting of fireworks. While for our own very Nigeria, who were also knocked out on away goals, we have fined $154,000 and must play one match without supporters after their fans invaded the pitch following their second leg in Abuja against Ghana. Senegal must also play one game behind closed doors and pay a fine of $180,000. That is 112 million West African CFA for Senegal. After day 2 were found in breach of FIFA's disciplinary code in their second leg win over Egypt that saw the Teranga Lions qualify for the World Cup. FIFA pointed to several issues at the match. Failure to implement existing safety rules and failure to ensure that law and order are maintained in the stadium, invasion of the field of play, throwing of objects, lighting of fireworks, use of laser pointers, and use of objects to transmit a message that is not appropriate for sports events, offensive banners. Egypt had requested a replay of the game after making a complaint to FIFA, pointing to several of the issues above as a basis for the demand. Meanwhile, the Egyptian Football Association were fined $6,000 after the referee in the second leg in Dakar cautioned 6 individuals on the Pharaoh squad. DR Congo, on the other hand, will also have to play a match without spectators after a pitch invasion following their first leg draw with Morocco, and they will also pay a fine of $123,000. There was a further fine of $5,000 for DR Congo for the throwing of objects during the second leg of the playoff, which they lost 4-1 in Morocco. Meanwhile, Morocco themselves have to pay $30,000 for the lighting of fireworks, throwing of objects, and blocked stairways at the second leg game at the Mohammed V Stadium in Casablanca. And now this is African football. 6 nations got sanctioned at the end of the day. Both the victor and the victim, they all got sanctioned at the end of the day. What do you make of this? And not knowing fully whether we just discussed that of MFM FC and Kano Pillars.
Well, it's like breakfast, everybody gonna eat. Let's just talk about the Nigeria one, okay. Right? So the implication, action, reaction, risk, reward, whatever, when you do something, consequences. So the game against Sierra Leone, no fans, but hopefully the media will be allowed, so we'll see it, and hopefully we don't get our heart broken. But obviously we want to see the Super Eagles do better against Sierra Leone than they did last time out in the qualifiers. And specifically from the letter that CAF on the other hand sent, it highlighted the benches, because for the most part that was also the equipment that was actually damaging the facility, and then they requested that the benches be replaced and adequate ones be provided. Then
I think it does actually, because Kano Pillars and the under-17 girls actually played a match at the Moshood Abdullah National, and that has been replaced.
Yeah, but this one now is like really. Okay, look at this. They say that there should be 2 covered team substitute benches for at least 21 persons and 1 covered bench at pitch level with sitting room for 4 match officials. The benches must be modern, comfortable, and made of high quality materials. So the benches at the end of the day. And please, let's not damage the benches anymore. So
that means an updated bench, because what we have cannot accommodate 21 players in the first place.
That's why I said that the update, because it was after the inspection that they gave these recommendations, and they must have seen what we had on ground. Okay, it's not enough, and we gotta do that. So we have to appeal to the fans as well, that eventually, when the Super Eagles return to the Mashoda National Stadium, we should also do better, because at the end of the day, when we react this way at the national team level, then what say they really have when it happens at the club level as well, because it just trickles down, and at the end of the day, it's not good for Nigerian football as a whole. And I mean, we have a lot of talent. We all enjoy the game. We understand that fine results can be disappointing at times, but that's part of the game, and we should try to vent our angers not
through
on
the
people,
right channel.
What's the right channel?
If you feel if you feel any disservice, the right channel is to write a complaint to the FA or those in charge of that match.
Exactly, the right channel.
All right, now still talking about sanction. UEFA says Russia have been barred from competing in this summer's Women's Euro 2022, while Russian clubs will also be banned from UEFA competition next season. Wow. UEFA has announced that Russia's bid to host the Men's Euro 2028 and Euro 2032 tournament is now ineligible. So the sanction come amid Russia's continued invasion of Ukraine. In February, Russian clubs and national teams were suspended by FIFA and UEFA until further notice. On Monday, UEFA announced that Portugal, who lost to Russia in the playoffs, will replace them at Euro 22, which takes place in July. Russia's women's national team will also no longer compete in the European qualification for the 2023 World Cup, while the men's side is barred from the 2022-2023 Nations League. They will automatically be ranked fourth in the group of League B, meaning they will be relegated at the end of the group phase. The ban imposed on clubs means that there will be no Russian teams in the men's and women's Champions League and Europa League or Europa Conference League during the 2022-2023 campaign. In March, and UEFA confirmed that Russia had declared an interest in hosting Euro 2028, as well as the UK and Ireland and Turkey and the 2032 edition. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said Russia's interest was beyond satire and beyond comprehension. UEFA said the bid was ineligible in accordance with Article 16.02 of the bid regulations, which states that each bidder shall ensure that it does not act in any manner that could bring UEFA any other bidder, the bidding procedure or European football into disrepute. UEFA latest sanction also banned Russia from the 2021-2023 European Under-21 Championship, as well as youth and futsal competitions. An update qualifying process for the Champions League has been published, which shows benefit for Scottish teams. The Premiership champions will go directly into the competition's group stages, while the second place side will now go into the third round of qualifying rather than the second. And this is taking a different toll on athletes coming from Russia at the moment. How do you see this turning out for Russian athletes? Now, let's leave the government out of it. Let's concentrate on how it affects these athletes. Even in tennis, series of bans have been put in place for Russian players. How would you describe this? And do you think it's fair enough on these players?
Well, I don't know. For us on our side, it's like the same thing over and over and again. And for them on their side as well, it's obvious that since it had already happened, mostly or majorly in the world of tennis, where because we had the Grand Slam and all and some major tournaments, and then we saw it happen that way. And then also Spartak Moscow, Russian clubs have already been knocked out of club competitions by UEFA. So I think at the end of the day, it was just a matter of time before it affected their women's teams as well. So it's
All right, and now let's go forward. Cristiano Ronaldo was on scoring duties again as Manchester United hopes to qualifying for next season's UEFA Europa League received a boost as they recorded a comfortable 3-0 victory over Brentford on Monday night. Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo and Rafa Varane were the goal scorers to give United their biggest win under Ralf Rangnick in their final home match of the campaign. United first victory in the 4 top-flight matches means they lie in 6th place, 3 points behind Tottenham Hotspur in 5th spot, but having played 2 matches more. 6th place will earn a place in the UEFA Europa League, while 7th will qualify for the newly introduced Europa Conference League. Ronaldo's penalty, his 18th Premier League goal of the campaign, means he has closed down the gap to leader Mohamed Salah in the race for this season's Golden Boot. Salah is currently on 22 goals. He has scored 9 of Manchester United's last 11 Premier League goals, with 8 of those coming at Old Trafford. United have 2 fixtures left to play with Brighton on Saturday. Brentford are in 14th position, 8 points clear of bottom 3 with 3 matches remaining. And now let's go straight to the UEFA Champions League, where Liverpool will look to complete their job against Villarreal in the second leg of the 2021-2022 Champions League semi-final clash at Estadio de la Ceramica tonight. Although Jurgen Klopp's side won the first leg 2-0 at Anfield, Unai Emery's side have beaten the odds before. However, even though Villarreal kept their clean sheet until halftime, Klopp's team broke through twice in the second stanza. A Jordan Henderson crosser was headed home by Pervis Estupinan and passed a weak Gerimino Rulli, and Sadio Mane had added a second to give Liverpool a commanding first leg lead. Villarreal lost them 2-1 to Alaves in Saturday's La Liga match with a much change in first 11, and now welcome Liverpool to a place where Juventus and Bayern Munich both lost. However, a 12-game unbeaten run at home helps Villarreal erase a 2-goal deficit in the Champions League semi-final, but Unai Emery's team failed to register a single shot on target in the first leg. Liverpool are with less than a month left in the 2021-2022 season. Liverpool can still achieve the quadruple dream after showing Newcastle United's momentum on Saturday afternoon. Manchester City returned to the top of the table after defeating Leeds United 1-0 at St James's Park, despite the Premier League denying a request to move the game. For Villarreal, they must better their 1-0 win over Liverpool at the La Ceramica in the 2015-2016 Europa League semi-finals if Unai Emery is to add a Champions League trophy to his sparkling collection. Ahmed.
Definitely, for Unai Emery and Villarreal, it's dicey once again. I mean, it's a different situation from when they met Bayern, when they were coming in with the lead. This time around, they're coming in with a deficit to overturn against a strong Jurgen Klopp side, and some would say nothing short of a miracle is needed if Villarreal are to extend their adventure in the Champions League this season, as they become only the second team to overturn a 2+ goal first leg deficit in the UCL semi-final tie after the one Liverpool did to Barcelona. You remember before at Anfield. But it's the Champions League and miracles do happen, and Yellow Submarine will be looking to use their undefeated record in home UEFA Champions League knockout matches, although they've suffered more draws, 5 and only won 2 as far back as December. But Liverpool, they're just it's hard to see them not going ahead in this one. I mean, Sadio Mane has seen 8 of his last 12 Champions League goals come away from home, and is also in good, solid, red-hot form. And you also have Mohamed Salah, who has scored 8 goals in the Champions League this season, and is still going strong. So, all in all, I don't really see Liverpool, even if they don't get a win here, right? They already have one step in the finals. It's just 90 minutes left. So Villarreal may be able to get a win, but Liverpool qualifies, all the way.
All right, and away from football quickly before we call it a wrap, let's give you stories from the world of tennis. And Murray beat 2020 US Open champion Dominic Thiem comfortably to reach the second round of the Madrid Open. In his first match on clay since August 2020, the impressive Briton won the high-profile first-round match 6-3, 6-4. Former world number 3 Thiem is continuing his own comeback after 8 months out with a wrist injury, but Murray proved the far stronger player. The 34-year-old, who has had his own well-documented injury troubles, is the 4th British man into the second round after Cameron Norrie joined Dan Evans and wildcard Jack Draper in progress earlier. Thiem, now ranked 91st in the world, was playing his 4th match of the year, having begun his comeback in March, but remains without a win. Murray had planned to skip the clay court season, but reversed his decision last month when accepting a white card for Madrid. He will next play Canada's 14th seed and Denis Shapovalov, who beat him at Wimbledon last year. Norrie, meanwhile, the current British #1, shook off illness and an early setback to beat South Korea Ki Sun-woo. Norrie was broken in his opening service game and trailed 4-1 in the first set, 7-2 set points before winning 7-5, 7-5 against the qualifier. In the day's other action, Italian 10th seed Yannick Sinner saved 3 match points in a 6-7, 7-6, 6-3 victory over American Tommy Paul. Meanwhile, in the women's event, Romania former world #1 Simona Halep reached the quarterfinals with a 6-4, 6-4 win over American 18-year-old Coco Gauff. Halep, the 2018 French Open champion, who is unseeded in Madrid following a series of injuries, has yet to drop a set as she finds some good form before the clay court Grand Slam at Roland Garros later this month. And that's the size of the package this morning on Citizen Sport with me, Friday, Joshua and Ahmed Abdulkarim. Say thank you for keeping your dialogue turned on 3.7 FM. And to Patrick from Newcastle, our regular caller, we say thank you, we love you. And to listen to us online, please visit www.citizenfm.ng and follow us on social media, Facebook at Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram at Citizen FM 937, on Twitter at Citizen FM 937, and don't forget being a good citizen is not living in a society, it is changing it. To come your way in the evening, my name is Friday Joshua FJ Omobabauju, the leatherweight champion.